Welcome to what is realistically my second stream. Except this time I now have a headset. So, should be able to hear me a little bit more clearer. So, welcome to Satisfactory. It's a early access game released on March 19th. The next major update is actually within a week. And they're kind of doing it weird. They're going to release it experimentally on Tuesday, the end of the month, and then a week later everybody else gets it. So, let's start on a new game. You have 3 starting areas, each have their own benefits and cons. Grass fields, basic starting area. Excuse me. Good access to your starting materials, a little bit further from your end-game materials, but lots of biomass, which is what you need in an early game. Your rocky desert, closer to your end-game materials, not as much access to your starting game materials, very little biomass, which is what you need at the beginning, and the northern forest, which has a lot of biomass, some access to your beginning and end-game materials, but there is very little area for building. You have to make your own. So we're going to start in the grass fields. We're going to call this the stream. session and start the game. Now, when the computer is talking, I'm not going to be, so you can actually hear what they say. And I will try to give you some tips and tricks as I move along the game. I have gotten as far as I can on my personal playthrough, so we'll see.
Attention Pioneer. The following instructional video is a summary of your impending duties as an exoplanetary pioneer for Fixit Incorporated. Fixit pioneers have 3 cyclical assigned pillars of work to ultimately accomplish project assembly. Use provided blueprints to build the necessary buildings. Chart the planet and gather resources to provide desired results and improve your infrastructure. Make sure to report any unusual discoveries to R&D for analysis. Expand your factories, outposts, and pipelines through automation and augmentation. That's it. Get to work and be effective. Warning, planetfall imminent. Please remain seated during full procedure. Atmospheric entry in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Planetfall procedure initialized.
Anybody else smell bacon, or is that just me?
Planetfall complete. Please ensure the integrity of your multi-purpose exploration suit is at 100%. Remember, efficiency first. Godspeed. Welcome to Planet Massage 2 ABB, your designated sector in the binary star system of Akicha. I am Ada, also known as Artificial Directory and Assistant, tasked to support pioneers, such as you, in their mission. You are the third of your sector to survive planetfall. Congratulations. Note: objective-based introduction initialized. Welcome to onboarding. First objective: please dismantle the drop pod. The resulting materials will be repurposed to construct a habitat and utility base, from now on referred to as the hub. Note: Fixit Incorporated is cost-effective and efficient. We do not waste.
Oh, welcome to Massage 2. Beautiful, isn't it? And almost everything you can see, you can get to. The big, tall, rocky mountains that completely surround the map, you can't get to them, mostly. So that you can't get to, but that you can. So you can get up to that waterfall, you can get on top of that, you can get on top of that. You can't get, I'm not entirely certain if you can get to that hill. I haven't tried, I don't think so. But you can get over there to those waterfalls and everywhere else. This is it's a very beautiful planet. It's also teeming with life. You've got Mr. Bean over there, who's not aggressive, not dangerous, just a big walking bouncy pad. You can jump on him, and he'll be a trampoline. Fluffy-tailed hogs, as you will find they will be called, are dangerous. they like to ram you. And that noise was the mantis that flies in the air. So, let's dismantle the drop pod first. So, anything new will have an exclamation point above it, and you can look at it, walk around it. This is what we landed in. As you can see, our home is currently marked at it. So this is where we will respawn if we die. But first, we'll press F and dismantle the drop pod, which gives us hub parts.
Second objective. Please ensure you have your Fixit Incorporated Xeno Zapper equipped before leaving the drop zone. Note: according to Fixit regulations, every pioneer should have access to a means of defense against extraterrestrial threats.
And our zapper is located in inventory, which is a hitting of tab. Double click.
Third objective. Please familiarize yourself with the resource scanner to find iron. Note: the acquisition of iron is considered essential in preparation for all future objectives.
Now if we hold C, we'll be able to select various ores as the game progresses. But right now, all we have is iron. There's 3 there. Which is not a bad place. But over there, actually, yeah, we'll go start there. Nice flat area. No, change my mind again. We'll go over this direction. It's a few iron ores and some other things will be useful. So, let's head out. As you walk along
This
from your...
consumable possesses minor healing properties. Further analysis required to establish object scanner identification.
If it doesn't move out of your way fast enough, like these leaves, collect them.
Initial scans reveal coloring properties in the flower petals. Further analysis required.
Holding shift down will allow you to run. And there is no stamina in this game, so you can run as long as you want. There is a health bar, and grabbing berries and other food sources will help you out, like these nuts. Or these nuts.
This consumable
Yes, I make puns.
possesses minor healing properties. Further analysis required to establish object scanner identification.
As you can see, Mr. Bean here is not a threat at all. In fact, I could zap him if I wanted to and he would run away. But let's grab some more nuts. Always grab the nuts. And any grass you come across until you proceed further in the game. You see the iron we pinged earlier? And actually hear the fluffy-tailed bastards. And if you hear them, always look around for them, because you never know where they're going to be. They have a nasty habit of sneaking up on you. Ooh. If you ever hear a musical chime, look around for one of these things. Or other special resources. These are very useful. Grab every one you come across. They come in 3 colors.
This semi-slug seems to emit weak potential energy from its crystalline shell. Further analysis of crystals required to determine application.
You can see another one up there, but that's in an area we are not going to right now. Because that noxious green gas is poisonous. There's another one there. We'll get that in a bit. It's easier to build the certain things later on in the game than it is trying to do a jumping puzzle to get up onto this particular rock. Oh, we'll try it anyway. And then over to that one. How do you know I made it? That's gonna get annoying. Alright, so this is an area I prefer to build. At least starting out. They're not the most
Studying
maneuverable.
The remains of this creature might shed light on how to defend yourself in the future. I recommend analysis.
They're just fast. And they'll run straight at you and start circling around. So the best way to take them out is to jump over them. Otherwise, you'll be dealing with them for a while. And this is the second
Fourth objective. Build the hub. Note: to complete this objective, the resources salvaged from the drop pod will be consumed. Caution: ensure the hub is built on spacious open terrain close to the presence of iron sources. Failure to do so will likely result in non-optimal progress.
Alright, this is the second Easter egg that you have seen so far. The first one was that sticker on the tool. The beat for the mining is a Queen song. If you don't recognize it, you need to expand your horizons. Alright, this is our build menu. And the hub. Now, right now, it really doesn't matter which direction you build things, but I will recommend that you figure out where you're going to put your first resource gatherings, because those hooks you see on the end there is where your power generators are going to be.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Hub Feature, Manual Craft Bench. Hub Feature, Hub Terminal. Fifth objective, Hub Upgrade, Storage and Power. Note: the Craft Bench and Hub Terminal are essential for progression to the next objective.
Alright, so let's select our first objective. Tier 0, Hub Upgrade 1, which will unlock all of this. Very important stuff. Easily enough, it's only 10 iron rods. You can see it there. All of our resources. Swing to the crafting bench and turn our ingots into, well, turn our ore into ingots. Now at this stage in the game, you can't automate anything. You don't have anything unlocked to do that. Hub Tier 0 will allow you to automate somewhat. However, it is still faster to build manually, at least through much of the early tiers. So, as you can see, I now have 89 iron ingots. So I can make 89 rods because they are a 1-to-1, or 44 plates because it's a 2-to-1. So let's do the 10 iron ingots. Or, sorry, iron rods. There we go. Double click, shift click, click and drag. Either way, loads it in.
Congratulations! You have unlocked Hub Feature Biomass Generator. Hub Feature Personal Storage. Scanner Feature Copper. New equipment, buildings and blueprints, which can be found in the workshop when built, build menu, and craft bench respectively. Sixth objective, Hub Upgrade, Construction. Note: connect buildings to a generator for power. Note: buildings such as the smelter require a blueprint to be set. Advice: automate the smelting process and use portable miners for optimal results.
Right now, there's nothing I can do with any of those, so they're going into storage. This is our biomass generator, or biomass burner. What I can do is put leaves, wood, alien carcasses, pretty much any biomatter into here. It's not an efficient method of producing power using base materials. Later on, you'll unlock biomass, leaves, very useful. Hub Upgrade 3 gives us biomass wood. 4 gives us the Miner Mark 1. And 5, Space Elevator, which would unlock hubs tiers 1 and 2. And in tier 1, you have the chainsaw and biofuel. Biofuel is the most efficient biofuel. You are able to turn biomaterial into biomass, which is then being able to in turn being turned into biofuel. Each subsequent fuel is more efficient than the last. So we're going to do with Hub Upgrade 2, which would unlock biomass, at which point we will begin semi-automating our things. So for this, we're going to need 10 plates, 10 rods, and 50 wire. In order to get wire, we need copper. So hold down C, select copper ore, it will ding, and there's a node right there. And continue stripping Mother Nature of her resources. And watch where you're going sometimes. There's a rather large hole in the ground right here. Fall down and you will die. I will be paving it over later, but there's another entrance down below. Where are you at? I hear you. Oh, you're stuck on the rock. The AI is not necessarily the brightest of pathing. Back over to our craft bench, and we can convert all of that ore into ingots. Now, we'll make 3 wires for every ingot, but that is currently the only thing you can do with copper ingots. There are future recipes that will allow you to use them for other things, but right now, wire is it. So we need 10 rods and 10 plates. Drop off the stuff we don't need and resort. Hub upgrade 2 complete.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Scanner Stone. New buildings and blueprints, which can be found in the build menu and craft bench respectively. 7th objective, hub upgrade, conveyor belts. Note, use power poles to expand the power network for optimal results. Note, constructors are capable of constructing copious parts, of which only one type at a time.
Like Mr. Bean there, the Manta is not aggressive and not dangerous. You can actually ride on it and get a view of the world. Alright. This is going to need 75 plates, which means we need more ore, because we don't have enough. 10 cable, 10 concrete, and 2 reinforced iron plates, which would require additional items. They come from plates and screws. So I would need 4 plates to make one, so that's a total of 8 plates, and 24 screws, which is a total of 48 screws. Screws are made from iron rods. But we're going to make something else first. The equipment bench. All of our new stuff. So, craft bench. Basically a portable version of what I've got to my left, or to my right. Build that anywhere. You can build a equipment workshop anywhere. Smelters will convert ore into ingots at a rate of usually about 30 per minute. And constructors will make various items. So, I've got a power pole and a power line, and you can see down here what they require to make for each one. So, we want to make an equipment workshop. To make sure we have the materials and keep in mind what it is, we'll add it to our to-do list, which is simply clicking here, and we can add however many we want. Same with smelters. See the plus button. So, we want to make one equipment workshop. We'll need 6 plates and 6 rods. If you watch this, as I create them, it counts up. So 6 of each. I have everything I need. And we're going to make some of these. So, these also can be added to your to-do list. Right click, add to to-do list. And if you have one in your to-do list, you can also remove it from your to-do list with the same right click. So, click multiple times to add multiple to your to-do list. So, let's make 5. A couple for iron, a couple for copper, or 1 for copper and 1 for limestone, which we will also need to make concrete. So, according to this, I need 20 iron plates. I can only make 15. but that will give us some of the items we need. Also says I need 20 cable, but we don't want to go below 40 wire because we need that. So I don't have enough to make as many, but let's see how many I can make. 3, 1 for each. We're also going to convert all of our leaves into biomass. Every item in the game stacks in multiples of 50. 50 being the smallest stack, 500 being the largest. Or in this case, for biomass, 200. Alright. To put down a portable miner on this impure iron ore, which you can see it's marked impure, there are 3 purities of ore, of nodes: impure, normal, and pure. Each one producing either half again or twice as much as the next. Or half of or twice as much. So a normal ore is your standard rate. A pure node would produce twice as much as normal, and an impure node would produce half as much as normal. So, to drop a miner, you equip it, and then right click as if you're attacking. And down it goes. So let's find our limestone. Oh look, there it is. And there's more in that direction. So now, these pure nodes that sit on top of normal or impure nodes, or even pure nodes, do not need to be removed at this point in the game. However, in the future they will need to be removed. And trees cannot be moved at this point in the game either. And there's the big giant hole. That I do not want to fall down. So this is a normal node. So we let those run for a little bit while we do other things. So what we can do now is load up the biomass generator with biomass. It has no consumption, thus no production. But it will burn one piece of biomass every 6 seconds. So that's 10 per minute. Which, so 200 would give us 20 minutes. Its capacity would be 20 megawatts. But in order to find that, we need concrete and a rod. So let's turn all of the limestone we have into concrete. Here we go, 38 concrete. And we'll make 1 iron rod. So if you put down a power pole and connect the power line, you can actually check your power consumption at a pole or the generator. So again, no consumption, not using any fuel. But if I was to put down a smelter or a constructor or something, it would start using fuel. They only fill with 1 stack, so that's 100 for ore. After that, they shut off, and you have to empty them. But they're also just a portable miner, so. So. The reason I added a couple smelters and a constructor to the to-do list is to show you the starting of the automation process. This is only going to be temporary because once I upgrade this milestone, we will be doing something else. The more you craft manually, the hotter the crafting bench gets. Now, I have not found any indication it crafts slower. It is just a visual indication right now. Eventually, that center button completely disappears. So let's make some reinforced iron plates. We're going to need 3 here and we're going to need 2 here. So we'll make 5. So for that we're going to need 20 iron plates total. But this also says we're going to need 8 more. So there's 28 iron plates. Now 24 screws to make 1 reinforced iron plate. Multiply that by 5 and we're going to need 120, which means we're going to need 20 iron rods. Plus those makes 30. Oops, we made too many screws. So, screws are a 1 to 6. We'll keep those, we might need them later. Let's make a little bit more cable. There we go. So, let's put down our smelters. Now, looking at the smelter, you can see a power indication, an in and an out. Those in and the outs are for conveyors. The power indication is just for power. And we'll put that there. We'll build another one right next to it. Now, to help later on, you won't be able to see them now because they're not on foundations. But later on, there will be a way to make things a little more even. And our single constructor, same things. Power, ins, and outs. Now what we're going to program this for is for concrete. Input 3 limestone will produce 1 concrete. This one will be iron ingots, and this one will be copper ingots. Nope, need a rod. And some cable. So, each of our power poles currently only allow 4 connections. There are more advanced power poles later that will allow up to 8. But right now we only have 4. And I prefer a more streamlined approach to power, so all my generators go to attached to the same one, and I have multiple power poles leading off of those, allowing for multiple connections to multiple areas. So these are all now connected. If you saw the lights turn from red to yellow, red indicates no power, yellow indicates no materials. You're going to see me mess up which one I grab more than once. because of the fact that the tab and the Q are right next to each other. So my finger doesn't always hit the right key. So let me show you how automation works. So I have all this limestone. Where'd they all go? There it is. So I have 101 limestone. It is now producing 45 limestone per minute. So to make a full stack here. This one wants iron ore for ingots. Here's my iron ore. It is now making ingots. Same with this one. Now each smelter, when it's operating, will take 4 megawatts. Each constructor, when it's operating, will also take 4 megawatts. That means we are currently running 12 megs of our 20 megawatt capacity. So this is actually burning through fuel. And the factory is not quiet. So, while I said it is usually faster to make things yourself, sometimes it's easier to automate so that you can walk away and do other things. Like check on miners. Collect biomass. And explore for further resources. Like this one, guarded by two fluffy dogs. Two more iron nodes, and this one is normal, and this one is also normal. It will take 2 impure nodes to equal the production capacity of 1 normal, and 2 normals to equal the production capacity of a pure, which we don't have any nearby. After all, this one's also an impure. As I said, there are 3 different colors of slug. You have green, such as what I collected. I believe that one's a yellow. And hidden in another place in the world, such as on top of that arch, are purple ones. And then you have items such as that Summer's Loop, and there's a Mercisphere in there that are works in progress, and you get nothing from them but a creepy voice telling you to harvest them. because they are strange alien objects. That's a bird that's not dangerous at all. Usually just runs away from you. And my inventory full. Inventory management is something you're going to be dealing with a lot. I actually have enough materials on hand right now to do the next upgrade. And there we go.
Congratulations! You have unlocked new buildings and blueprints, which can be found in the Build menu and Craft bench respectively. 8th objective. Hub upgrade, additional power. Advice. When planning the construction of buildings, note the placement of conveyor belts. Caution. Overloading the power network guarantees suboptimal performance.
Yeah, it turns off. So, this was an empty room last upgrade. Now we have a toilet, 2 beds, and a bunch of computer screens with a chat log, a orange screen of death. The system update required solitaire, someone who hasn't licked 1,337 items, a moose, and a bunch of random other stuff. So, and we got ourselves, that's next upgrade. Never mind. Let's unlock that. Select milestone. So, we're going to need 100 plates, 75 rods, 20 concrete, and 20 cables. Well, cables is always useful. We have the concrete. We do not have the rods or anything else. And as you can see, the only thing I have running right now is the smelter for iron. So I'm only drawing 4 megawatts. But for new items, we have conveyor poles and conveyor belts. Now, these would allow me to connect the smelters to the constructors if I wanted to automate making of the rods and plates, which will something we will be doing. The issue is I don't have storage or the power capability to run a smelter and a conveyor for each item, because that would be 4 just for them plus the one for the concrete. That's 20 megawatts. And when you start something up, it will power spike. So if I'm not paying attention and don't keep things loaded, when they start up, they'll spike the power, which means it'll go above 20 megawatts, which is my only capacity right now because I only have the one generator, and will shut down. When we get another biofuel burner, we'll have things more automated. You can see from the left hand side of the craft bench we have additional craftable items, biomass wood. So all that wood and leaves and whatnot I've got in the storage container can be converted into biomass. But let's make our 100 iron plates and our 75 rods.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Hub Feature Additional Biomass Generator. New buildings, which can be found in the build menu. Ninth objective, Hub Upgrade Molecular Analysis. Note: to ensure full mastery of skills and equipment, I have been asked to not interfere with this last objective. Good luck.
There we go, our second biomass generator, which, if fueled, would double our capacity. So, we now have 40 megawatts. So, let's start automating things. Oh, there's that. But before we do that, we're going to put some foundations down. Now, foundations allow us to flatten the world, which is something we're going to be doing. So, find a spot. Actually, while we'll do that, in production we have the Miner Mark 1. So, we're going to do that. Now, because we have foundations, ramps, regular walls, an organization for storage, very useful. We're going to start, and then our conveyor belts. We're going to start with foundations. First things first, we pick up this miner, which messed up. Oh, we don't need this ore. So, but we do need the miner. Let's add that to there. So if you tap a button, it binds it to your hotbar. Allows me to select it, determine how I want it, and plop it down. Yep. And then I can completely cover this resource node. Now, you have to pay attention to where you put how big of a foundation you put down, because if it's too big, it may not fit through. This one does. It actually allows me to turn where I want. So we'll put this direction for now, because that's in the direction of the giant hole in the ground I want to cover up. And 1, 2, 3 by okay. Okay, can't afford. I'm going to leave it like this for now. So, we're going to plop down. We'll put that on that one and that one there. So, we're going to plop down a smelter. As you can see, the miner Mark 1 has a green out. Line up the smelter to it, and it can actually be pretty close. I mean, it can be that close, but we'll put it here for now. And we don't have any plates to connect it with. Lovely. Well, here's a trick. If you hold down control and drag, you drag it all. Everything of that particular item. So, yep, final upgrade, select milestone. So, if it tells you have an invalid shape, you're gonna have to figure out why. So let's try that again. Let's actually do this with it. And then we'll put this here. And that like that. This is now producing copper ore at a rate of 60 per minute. This will burn it at 30 per minute. So, what I need to do is come over here, and I can't play with efficiency yet. That'll be a bit later. And then it'll smelt in there, be sent around, turn into wire there, which we will put into, well, short rods. Alright, now we're going to need 2 more of those. Um, 2 of those and 2 of those. Now we can just grab the portable miners from over there. We have enough rods, but we need the reinforced iron plates and concrete. To get concrete, I'm gonna have to go over there. And actually, we're going to need 1 more of those and 1 more of those, because we forgot about concrete. Now, we have enough concrete, but I need to build out this direction. Because we also need to build out this way, so we can put the miners on those nodes. Okay, the only reason I did that was to line up my foundations for now. Alrighty, we should have enough resources now to build at least some of the items. So, oh, forgot about the portable miners I needed to pick up. So, let's go do that. Yoink! Yoink! Now, if you, as you saw, it said I needed to place it on a resource node. If you mess up the placing of things, that's what it will tell you. So, Now drilling. And producing 60 ore per minute. So we're going to do hub upgrade 5 and then prepare for the space elevator. And there's going to be a lot of building and automating while we're doing this. Let's go get some more concrete, which is really the next thing I should have automated. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't work. But that works to hide the landscape. Okay. Okay. Let's pull this out of here and take it. Missing concrete. So I'm completely out. You will find yourself running back and forth to each of your areas in the beginning of the game. Much like I'm doing now. point and click. And I forgot to build the concrete. So I suck, so you don't have to. Learn from my mistakes, and you'll make ones of your own. But watch streamers like me, New Blitz, Blitz, Zikibits, Kibits, and learn how they did things. So let's bring that up here. We'll put our smelter down. Actually, you know what? Delete that. Delete that. Put the smelter down right in the middle of this area. Connect that to there. For iron ingots. Alright. If you look on the right hand side of the screen, you'll see two green lines. What they indicate is that the smelter and this constructor are lined up evenly. So the lower green line means that they are centered on each other, and the upper green line means that the conveyor belt will go directly from one to the other. They are directly in line without any angle difference. Like so. And this will make plates. Like so. And then my base is in the way, but that will be fixed later. So we'll do the same thing over here with our other items. So put down a smelter. Make sure you get everything lined up. Where's that at? So right about there. Maybe. Nope. A bit of an angle. There. Everything except concrete is now being automated. And our power consumption is 26 megawatts. And you can see the jumps as everything was turned on. These are all flashing yellow because that's full. Now we will need to do the same thing to both of these, bring them to a storage container, but we need more concrete for that. I'm actually going to flip this one backwards to make it easier for me to attach this to there. And yes, they will clip through trees. Even though these are evened up, they're coming in different ways. So let's go get concrete optimized, or automated. Now if I try to put a miner on this node with the foundation this high, it won't work. So I have to use the smaller foundation, which is right now, as you see, can't be put down because they encroach others' clearance. that sound you just heard was Power Circuits. Text line. Hey, look. Early access, gentlemen and or ladies. Whoever's watching, early access. So, when I try to start that item, I peeked right over the right over the 40 megawatt limit. So that's where I'm at. And removing it starts everything right back up again. You can see I peak right to 40 megawatts. All of these should be operating. Well, the up and down motion is the fact that this will start and stop because it's producing twice as much as ore is needed for those. So we're going to fix that as soon as we have enough materials. Which, lo and behold, we have enough stuff to craft. Alright, there we go. Oh, bugger. Darn it. I just knocked over my coffee. Made a giant mess.
You have unlocked HUB feature, Molecular Analysis Machine, also known as the MAM. Building, Biomass Burner. Building, Space Elevator. Equipment, Object Scanner. Equipment, Beacon. Motivational message. Congratulations, you succeeded in every provided task. On behalf of Fixit Incorporated, I thank you for your current and future service.
Oh,
Additional knowledge. The hub terminal has been converted to give access to milestones there to ensure you progress along Fixit-approved protocols.
Giant mess.
Additionally,
I'm going to have to clean that up
in
a bit.
Samples of xenobiology and other materials
Lovely.
I deem relevant to R&D in exchange for appropriate rewards. Note: future developments should be aimed at constructing the space elevator and thus initiating project assembly. Good luck.
Alright, so we now have the space elevator, which we will add to our to-do list. And the 250 plates, 400 rods, 1500 wire, and 500 concrete. And we have tiers 1 and 2. So we have biofuel, walls, splitters, mergers, which are very useful, storage, And then conveyor walls, also very useful for making a factory. Then we have parts assembly, which would give us our assembler, rotor and modular frame, our chainsaw, inventory slots. Jump pads and walkways are getting around things within your tier. So we'll go with biofuel first. And we're actually going to need to build another one of those. Just to have enough power to automate concrete. So we'll run over here, grab some plates, grab some rods. Build a couple more of these. Tie it into the system and grab some fuel for them. And there we go. Let's make up a full stack of plates, using up all the extra ore we've got. Ingots we've got. And a full stack of rods. Now that we have the power, activate that. Put a container down. Put a constructor down. Connect the two. And connect the miner. Now, we're still going to have those spikes in the power because this miner only makes 30 per minute and the machine wants 45. So, our limestone is not going to be the greatest, but we can fix that in the future. Right now we have the MAM. So, I'll show you how we fix the items. So, no, inventory. So, Green power slug. Put that sucker in. Come back in 5 minutes. Actually, this is the one we want right here. So we want that productivity display. It will also allow for overclocking or reducing to even out our so we're gonna need that one. Actually, take all. Let those run for a little bit. And let's go find some other limestone. Because we're going to need it. We'll make some of our own while the stuff is running. And here's some limestone, another impure node. Sam ore, strange alien metal. Not in the game quite yet, so I will ignore that. Maybe it'll show up in the next patch, I don't know. Now what we're looking for is limestone outcroppings so that I can beat on it and get ore. And making sure to grab the nuts. Whoa! Spicy boy! He does anticipate your and they're relatively easy to kill later on, but at the beginning they're no fun. And they come in bigger sizes as well, they're even less fun.
The MAM has completed its analysis.
Okay, back to base. That shuttle right there is for launching stuff later. So,
The crystals on this slug can be harvested and converted into a power shard that functions with current fix-it technology. Several buildings would be capable of performing over 100% capacity, if infused. The derived blueprint is now accessible in Hub Tier 1.
which would be that one. And oh look, we can actually do this one right now. So let's do it. That one, and that one. And while we are supposed to wait 2 minutes for the pod to return, we can also, if we had the materials, actually just launch the thing already. But we don't. Actually, almost. Doesn't matter. By the time it comes back, we'll have it. Because we had 2 slugs, we can make 2 power shards. So we're going to run over here to this miner that's making I made it, yay! Making concrete. Add a power shard. And shove it up to 150% power, which means it is now producing 45 per minute, which is what that constructor wants. And our pod has returned. You know what? I think I'm going to...
Milestone exchange concluded. Fix-it freighter re-entry complete.
There, that way the factory's not so loud as it was. Now reduce those both to 50% because that's all this is drawing in. So that should even out my this one. Hang on. 15 per minute, 15 rods. So this one will drop down to 50. I really should have put this on an impure node. And this one dropped to 25. So this will make 15 per minute. This will use 15 per minute. And this will use 15 per minute, so that's 100% capacity. Whereas this one will make 30. This will use 30. And this will use 30. That's 100% capacity. And what that does is level out our power draw. Now we have to do it over here. So this needs 15 ingots per minute. So if we drop this to 50% capacity, it's only making 15 per minute and using 15 per minute. So this will go all the way down to 25%. And what that does, flatten out our power draw. So we're at even 45 megawatts. None more of these spikes of items turning on and off. They are working, the end result is working at 100% capacity efficiency, which is something you will see later in the productivity display, which is what we're trying to unlock now. And I forgot to grab the rods.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge and split to increase the complexity and efficiency of your factory. The productivity display will help you measure and improve the productivity of individual buildings to aid with optimization.
Yep. But right now we don't really have the room to do it. But once I do, I will show you, because what I can do is run more than one smelter off of this single miner, and each smelter can run a constructor or more than one depending on the item being made. For example, so this has a normal capacity of 60 ore because we're at 25%, 60 ore per minute. Each smelter would have a normal capacity, because we're at 50%, of 30 ore per minute. So at 60 ore per minute, I can run 2 smelters. However, if I'm making rods at 15 per minute, that means each smelter can run 2 constructors. We don't have the power capacity for a completely 100% efficient factory right now. I would have to build more of these biomass generators, and they're not easy to keep fueled. But I like that I have flattened out the power draw. So let's see how our MAM is doing. It's done.
Paleodictyoptera berries, or paleberries, can be added to the Object Scanner catalog after unlocking the new blueprint in Hub Tier 1.
Well, let's pick our next. Yeah, it's an easy enough one to do. It doesn't launch the thing, so there's no need to worry about it doing so. So let's do utility for our biofuel. Plop, plop. Put that away. Sort those, and go grab some more materials. Great thing about streaming this game is it doesn't get completely dark even at night, so you're able to see everything. It's just slightly darker.
Milestone reached. You have unlocked several structures aimed to provide the first needed to build basic factory infrastructure. Additionally, the biofuel blueprint will ensure improved fuel consumption of biomass burners. Additionally, you can now build the space elevator, which is integral to your contribution to project assembly.
So, let's take all of this biomass and turn it into biofuel. And then go refuel. Our generators. As you can see it now, but instead of burning through one every 6 seconds, it now burns through one every 15, which makes it the fuel will last twice as long. And we'll make some more for other uses. Basically, finish up stacks. But that was that's the pod returning. There we go. Should last us a bit of time, especially since we're not using as much as we could be. Only half our power supply. So theoretically we could double a few things. Concrete is running as efficiently as it possibly can. We could theoretically double our fuel supply, but you know, I'm going to change which milestone because I want to remove some trees. So I don't know what happens if I change the milestone, but let's find out. Select milestone. I wonder if it goes back. Yep, so if you've already put the parts in for a milestone, they stay. Let's do that. So I need 10 plates. So I'm going to need 40 iron plates and 240 screws. But this would allow me to remove some trees. However, plates are currently our bottleneck. So grab a stack of wire. Go put some stuff in and then figure out what we need to do to fix the plate thing. Because we're short some rods. 133 to be precise. Which we could also fix. So, let's expand our base a little bit. And we can build out there. There is nothing stopping us from building out into the void. This is void that we can actually get to. So, let's adjust our base. So, remove that, remove that, that, that. We'll be using these anyway, that and that. So, and okay. Yeah, I was afraid of that. I'm going to have to go with that. And that. So. What we're going to do is put down a splitter. Now, if you look at the splitter, you can see 1 in and 3 outs. So you want to line it up as close as you can with the liner. Connect it. And what we'll do is we will now put down 2 smelters. I will line up 1 out with the splitter. And I will line up a constructor right behind that. I'll put another constructor right next to it. Except we don't have any reinforced plates, so I need to go make some. Actually, I have 3 stacks of ore. So what I'm going to do is, 3 stacks of ingots. So I'm going to toss that ore. Let's make 3 reinforced iron plates. Make some more rods. This way the pod can go do something while I'm readjusting the rod construction.
Milestone reached. Additional to an inventory expansion, you are now capable of removing foliage that consists primarily of wood.
Alright, so that goes away because what I want is another splitter. And then I will put a constructor here. And one next to it. Floor is too steep. We'll do that for now. So. And then I want to do a merger, which you can see has 3 ins and 1 out. And then we will put the container right there. Connect the belts. Yeah, I'll need that for the future, so we'll leave that there for now. And put a power supply down. And we'll go down and drop the miner down to 50% capacity. Because we only want it producing 30, because that's all this will burn. When it does that, so the splitter will split in it up to 3 sections. So right now it's split into 2. So 50% goes over here, 50% goes over here. So these will be running at 100% capacity, right like that. 100% capacity. 100%. This is technically running at 50%, but its clock speed's, 100%, but its clock speed's at 50%, so it's only producing half, which, again, evens out my power draw, which is the end goal. You do not want spikes in your power, because when you get spikes, your power trips offline. So, next, let's do the personal storage milestone and see what we need to build the chainsaw. So we're going to need 10 reinforced iron plates, 25 rods, and 160 screws. All of which we can make. With materials on hand. And we're going to have 2 extra screws, which we really won't need, but... So, what am I missing for the chainsaw? Some rods. Lovely. Which, oh look, we have them there. Because they're being automated. So, we now have the chainsaw. We don't need those. Well, this is as good a time as any to show you. So, when you're hurt, like, as you can see, I'm at half health. You eat something. Berries, nuts, bacon, mushrooms, etc. So, I ate the nuts, and my health went up. And I have more nuts here, so those are being saved. Do I have any biofuel in there? No, I do not. So, let's get some biofuel, because we're going to need it. That should be enough. Gonna need those. Well, now we have a new toy. Once again, we begin stripping Mother Nature of her bounty to fuel our industrial might. Because until we get the next power source, we will need to do exactly that. Yeah, can't cut that down from that angle. Chainsaw has a bit of an area of effect, so it sometimes gets more than one tree, more than one bush, etc. You have to let it make a complete pass before it will pick up anything. And it will sometimes clear rocks. So, I think that's enough clear cutting for the day. Oops, we missed one. We missed a tree that grows through our floors. So, let's go convert it all to biofuel. And I'm going to pick that up. Alrighty, so
Barrel nuts can be added to the Object Scanner catalog after unlocking the new blueprint in Hub Tier 1.
again, that doesn't launch anything, so makes it a little easier on us.
Milestone reached. Additional storage options have been provided. R&D inflated your pocket dimension and developed a personal storage box accessible in the build menu.
Alrighty, so let's kill some power. Oops. I'm not entirely certain that's going to land now. Okay, so let's reassemble the hub. How am I missing hub? Oh. Good, it's still analyzing the flower petals. fix those. And we'll have those powered momentarily once we make more biofuel. So, interesting. Okay. I can actually automate a little bit the production of biomass. We can't automate it being put into the burners, but we can Alrighty. Sleeves. What are you? Limestone. Okay. Let's do that one. That one. And that one. And then we will put down a power pole. Power everything. Throw some fuel into each one. Throw that in. And go get some cable. I mean, go get some wire to turn into cable. Oh, I already had wire. Silly me. Alright, that should be everything powered. Yep, let's check our power consumption. These spikes, as you saw, were things starting up. Okay, why am I getting spikes here? Well, the only new things we installed were these. So this thing produces 90 biomass per minute. I need to drop that down to 60. Why? Because our conveyor belt only moves 60 items per minute. So this thing will take 60 per minute. So I need to drop that even further. Close enough. This thing will produce 375 per minute. Yeah. Which means it's not running right now. Because a stack is 200. And we have biofuel being made at a rate of 30 per minute. Alright, there we go. Now let's grab 100 of those, 100 of those.
Milestone reached. To ensure optimal use of space, navigation and tidiness, R&D have developed stairs and conveyor wall.
Where do we want to put the space elevator? If you can see the game, can you please say something in chat? Twitch seems to be saying it's the thing starting soon, but I've been streaming for over almost 3 hours now. Weird. Well, hopefully this video works just fine when I upload it to YouTube later. So our ship's back. Now, where to put the space elevator? You know what? Let's put it over here for now. A space elevator is a very large item. Oh, bugger, where'd you go? Oh well. Gotta be careful with the aim point sometimes, or you'll build underneath things like I just did. So this thing's putting out an even 30 per minute. That's good. And 29.7 per minute. Round that up. 60. Okay.
Milestone reached. Buildings aimed at factory traversal, including several different categories of jump pads, can now be accessed in the build menu. Caution is recommended during use of these products. R&D wishes me to tell you these colored pedals are useful for two things: dating and creating color cartridges. Mandatory reminder that you are under 24/7 surveillance. The derived blueprint is now accessible in Hub Tier 2.
I need more of those. So our iron capacity. Let's fix that, shall we? So right now, this is pumping out as many as it can. But this is only at half speed, so sure I have the 8 megawatts I'm going to need, and I do. Okay. This is always a problem with, but there's a way around it. So, another pro tip. Look at my splitter. It's not doing it. Darn it. Excuse me. So, what we're going to do is put this sucker a little bit closer. Yep, can't. Darn it. What I can do is put that there. That there. Okay. I still have 2 spots on that one, so. There we go. Double the plate production. And apparently my power kicked off. Strange. But there we go. Consuming 59 megawatts. Flat, easy. I like that power. Alright, let's get the color gun. And we'll put the equipment workshop back down. And see what we need for the color gun. 80 screws. We can do that. And a color cartridge. There you go, 80 screws. Interesting, so I guess we can color things 100 times. And what's this? Alright. Let's do walkways. Okay, so let's see how that color gun works. Ah, there we go. So, right click to be able to edit your colors. This here is the default one, and this is how we're doing it. So let's play with the default because I want a different color. I want my stuff to be in the blues. In fact, a dark blue. And we'll make that a little darker too. So, update preset. That changed everything. Now I should do that with the color gun. So, apparently that one doesn't change much. But that's how it works. So let's say we want our iron production to be orange. No, iron is a red, so we're gonna come up to red. That looks like a good iron color. So we'll use that one. So this is currently doing iron, so make it that color. That color. Oops. Waste ammo. So, and copper is a green, so we'll use this one. That tells us what's in each one. And finally, limestone. We'll use that one. There we go, for concrete. But our generic ones, our hub and everything else is still one color. And this would allow us to color our buildings later, our walls that show us what is what. So there's that. Alright, we need 150. Take all. Take all. We have lots now.
Milestone reached. After medical consultation, additional buildings aimed at factory traversal have been added. Walkways can now be accessed in the build menu.
Alright. So down here in organization, we have all of our walkways. Ramps, turns, straights, lookout tower. Which we can actually build that loose. Let's do that and look at all we survey. So, our current base. Color-coded for your convenience. So, iron production over here, copper there, limestone there, and we've got a couple more iron nodes there. That's coal down there. And that's where we're going to be putting the space elevator. So, let's go back down. Now, if you'd have just run straight at the ladder, you'd have fallen off and fell and gotten injured. Because I backed into the ladder, I backed down it. Pro tip. Oh. Noob tip, really, because that's what I am. I'm nowhere near a pro. I'm trying to remember how big the space elevator is. I don't know, to be honest. Well, let's see. According to the wiki, the space elevator is 54 meters square. So each of these are 8 meters. So 54 is what? 9 by 9? Basically. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, actually that's 3, 4, 5. Bugger, fell down. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. definitely going to be moving it another time because we're going to be needing this space. This coal's going to come up here. Oh dear, my power supply is turned off. Take on. Let's fix this. Power management is something that you're going to have to pay attention to. Because if you don't, this happens. Your stuff turns off. There we go. Everything's up and running again. You can actually do that to help store some of the things if you really want to. The last of the tier 2 items, parts assembly. So, can I put it there? Nope, it's encroaching on this clearance. The constructor there. So, we have enough iron rods. We don't have enough iron plates. We have plenty of copper, which isn't truly being made at maximum efficiency, because this is using 15 ingots per minute, which means I can actually double that just from that one, or quadruple it from the miner. I am not a fan of falling to my death, so let's roof over the rest of the giant hole in the ground. Which we could rearrange our wire factory, but right now we don't need to. In the future, we will. Oh, crap. I'm gonna have to be right back. I have a bee inside, and I don't know how. Especially since I live inside a building. Well, a boat, really. So, just a second. Be right back. False alarm, it wasn't a bee. It was one of those flies that looked like a bee. So, but the great thing about the fact that I didn't really pause the game, there is no pausing, it kept running. So, we should have enough, yep, to do the final thing. Oh, and actually almost enough to make the... And that is the end of Tier 2.
Milestone reached. More complex assembly of parts can now be automated.
There. I will keep that going at full capacity. So, now we gotta wait on the remainder of the materials we need to make space elevator. I messed that one up in positioning. I did it again. That helps. I like how I have the hub positioned. You're right underneath that arch. So, what we unlocked was personal storage devices. Well, that's been unlocked for a while. These are our jelly pads, our tilted jump pads, and our jump pads, our conveyor walls, doors. Now, this would allow us to run. This one allows us to run a conveyor along the wall, and these 1, 2, and 3, two different styles, allow us to put conveyors through walls. So, when we start building our factory, we'll show how that's done. And the assembler allows for 2 inputs to 1 output. It is actually what is needed to automate things that actually need it to build. The modular frame and the rotor, both of those take 2 inputs. The modular frame actually takes, realistically, 3 inputs because one of its inputs is reinforced iron plates, which I would like to automate, but we would have a bottleneck of our screws. So, for example, there's modular frame, 3 reinforced iron plates, 6 rods. So, reinforced iron plates wants 24 screws. So let's make 3 of those. Actually, hang on. How many did we need for that? We need 3 of those. So we'll add that to that. Which means we actually need 9 reinforced iron plates. That's 4, 5, 6, 8. Enough screws for 9. And rotors needs 22 screws. How many rotors do we need for the 4? So let's start making screws till we get 4 rotors. 1, 4. Excuse me. So there's that. And then we need 10 cable. Okay, there we go. So, if I put one down here, which I'm going to put it there and not even power it, just to show you what it is. So, these are the recipes in the assembler: reinforced iron plate, rotor, and modular frame. To make a reinforced iron plate, I would need 20 iron rods per minute and 120 screws per minute. To make 5 reinforced iron plates per minute. The problem is our conveyors currently only produce 60, can only move 60 items per minute, which means at best we could be at 50% clock speed on this machine, which means we would need 60 screws per minute and 10 iron plates, but we'd only make 2.5 per minute, which is fine if the modular frame didn't need 12 per minute. So, if we can only make 2.5 reinforced iron plates per minute, we would need 3 of these assemblers to equal, 5 assemblers in order to automate making the modular frames. So, that's outside of our power range right now. And the rotor also requires 132 per minute screws. Again, outside of our, well, we can't move that many items. So again, we would have the problem of our power not being steady. We also would need more than 80 megawatts. You saw that thing took 15. We're at 58. So another 15 would be 73. But we would need many more of those machines to automate. And each one takes 15 megawatts, which means each one would require basically another one of these biomass burners to operate. So right now it is more efficient to hand build the extra items. So now we're just waiting on concrete. So, let's do a little exploring while we're waiting. Let's go down and see what that cave is. So, in the meantime, just to be safe, because death is always possible, we are going to put the things we need for the space elevator into storage, maybe? So, 1, 2, 3 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. 1, 2, split that stack. 2 of those. And we'll put all the concrete. We'll do that, toss those. And we'll just put the rest of this stuff back in the various containers. There we go. Now, let's go explore that cave that I didn't want to drop down into. So, I'll show you where the other entrance to it is. Caves always contain something interesting. Not always something that is friendly, but it is still there. Did I harvest these? Did that come back? That came back. So, that's a Summers loop. And here is the cave entrance on this side. There you go. Bacon agaric. Bacon
This
mushroom.
consumable possesses minor healing properties. Further analysis required to establish object scanner identification. Raw quartz. Can't use it right now. It's not in the game. But we hear and see green slug. So, back into the cave.
You can look up and see our foundations. And the great thing about those foundations is it drove all the enemies away. Oh, I missed one. Ooh, and there is the green stuff we can't go through. So that's later on in the game. Feel free to remind me to go check it out when we have the gas mask, which is in tier 6. So if you don't want to deal with mobs, what I have seen from another player on his YouTube channel, which I don't quite recall who, unfortunately, but if you put a building, and that can be as little as a power pole down, and wait a few minutes, enemies will disappear, despawn, or just run away, or go away, something. And here I was hoping to show you the spider. So that no longer has any leaves, but we can dump these into here, and this will start up again. And we can dump this into here. And that will, well, somewhat start up again. And then shut down. So let's do the research on the bacon.
Additional samples are required for R&D to continue developing a defense-oriented blueprint. The creature has been named Phacocoirus plumiuscata, or fluffy-tailed hog.
So there's the bacon for now, and them fluffy-tailed hogs. We're gonna have to find some more of them, and we will. They're everywhere. Where's the spot I missed? Probably right there. Maybe. V turns on your flashlight, by the way. Or was it right? I don't know. And we have enough to make the space elevator. So, let's go do that. And that will be the end of the stream. Well, soon thereafter. So we'll come up here. Special space elevator. And look at that beastie. So, there we go. Should have done this during the day, but at least they'll see it at night. What's it doing? What's it doing? Looks like it's trying to catch something. They're just trying to catch that. And then we have our space elevator completed. Oh, ouch. Well, now you see what happens when you don't catch that ladder. So, space elevator. So, project assembly. To unlock tiers 3 and 4, it wants 75 reinforced iron plates and 50 rotors. So let's remember that and see what kind of materials we're going to need. So 75 reinforced iron plates. Something we could automate. We could automate them both, but as I said, it's more efficient to do it by hand currently. So we're going to need $2,900 screws, 300 iron plates, and 150 iron rods. So, yeah. This done it is.
Amanita lardum, or bacon agate, can be added to the Object Scanner catalog after unlocking the new blueprint in Hub Tier 1.
Alright, we have completed Tier 0, which is the hub upgrades. Tiers 1 and 2. And built our space elevator, which needs a lot of materials to finish for the next upgrade, the next tiers. So that will be the next episode. I will try to do my best to stream once again on Sunday. And I believe we are going to call it a day for today. So, thank you for watching. When I upload this to YouTube, please do not forget to like and to subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Please give me a like and a comment on Twitch. And have a nice day.